Ellery Moses Hanconck was a pioneer that lived in the Midwest. We'll be exploring one of his journal entries from 1919. Most of Hancock's diaries were written about the weather, presumably so that he and his compatriots could have a better understanding of what would happen throughout the coming years. So for him, writing in a rhetorical manner would have meant writing in a way that people would have believed what he was writing. So the main thing that he used, the main rhetorical device, would be decorum. For people nowadays, watching the Weather Channel is like a show. You sort of see what's coming, they present it in a fun way with all these different monitors. And part of the reason is that using these monitors we get a better idea of what the weather's going to be, but part of it's because that's what we expect of the Weather Channel. We expect them to present the information to us in this way. However, for the people of Hancock's time, that's not how they would have expected it. The audience Hancock was writing for was much more matter of fact. They just wanted the information that he had. So when he's writing, it makes sense that he writes, the weather was rainy and cool, and the wind came from the northwest at 59 degrees. The people weren't expecting some graphic, they just wanted the information. And so when he presents it in that way, he's showing decorum because he's giving them exactly what they expect. When we read his diaries today, we're like, well, this isn't very interesting, and I don't really care for this type of writing or this way of gathering information, but that's just because we're coming from a different time period. His writings were perfect for the time he came from. Another way that he demonstrates his decorum is when he says that C and I will be going to church tomorrow. Now, presumably C is some family member, but we don't really know that. But what we do know is that the people of his time were very religious, so showing that he was a good Christian, as they would have thought, is very important for his audience to believe him. Nowadays, you wouldn't think, oh, we can't trust his weather report because he's not a Christian, but back then it was totally different. Now, people might have still believed his weather reports, but they certainly wouldn't have thought of him as being as good a person as he could be, or hold him in as high regards as they would other people who were Christians. For Hancock to consider himself to be successful, he has to convince his audience that he's reliable, that his weather reports are good. And he does this by establishing his decorum so that they'll trust him, and he establishes decorum in two main ways. First, the way he presents the information, it's very matter of fact, which the people would have liked, and secondly, he appeals to his audience's sense of religion, their Christianity, and shows that he is also a Christian, and thus they've established a connection.